Okay, so today I'm going to share with you one of the simplest tips to get keywords pretty much for free, using your competition research, also using a free Pinterest trends tool, but using it in a different way, okay? If you are serious about making passive income from Pinterest, you're going to want to watch this video to the end. It's not long, so let's get into it right now. So you've joined me on my kind of my demo accounts. This is on the DIY and crafts niche, which is a really, really good niche to go into, even if you have no idea about DIY and crafts, because the volume here is fantastic and it's super evergreen with some seasonal spikes, which I'll show you in a second. So this is just an example account that I have, so you can take a look at pretty much everything. So what I'm going to show you now is a way to get some of the keywords for your next batch of pins, your next batch of blog posts, etc. And to do that, you can guess, which I'd suggest you don't do. Or you can look at your competition research and look at a free Pinterest trends tool, but use it in a smart way. So this is what I'll do first. So you want to head over to pinteresttrends.com. You can see in the top here, and you want to type in your niche area. Now, this will show you the growing trends here for all the niches, but we are specifically going to type in our niche. So in the interest section on the left-hand side, whatever your niche is, if it's finance, if it's food and drinks, if it's home decor, men's fashion, whatever it's going to be, we're going to type in DIY and crafts. And super important, you don't really want to use the growing trends straight away or the seasonal trends, because Pinterest takes at least 30 days to rank anything. So if, for example, you're trying to rank for Thanksgiving, which I think is next week now, where we are, you're never going to rank for it, okay? Because it takes way too long. So go to monthly trends. This is what I usually do. And then you can go through the keywords and you can see which one is the most fitting for right now, which usually works quite well. And I do this pretty much all the time with my personal accounts and my client accounts. But here is the hack, okay? Here is the secret tip that I've been using for the last few months, and it's just worked an absolute wonder. Quick pause. This is my new Pinterest community, and I am going to be putting so much time and effort into the community. So if you are looking to grow passively online and you're looking to use Pinterest to grow your revenue, to grow your community, to grow your traffic, to grow your blog, etc., you're going to want to sign up to this community, okay? It is free right now, so it's got a free trial. And I'm going to give a ton of information away. I'm going to give you coaching calls weekly. I'm also going to have a live case study just for the people that's in this community, where I start a new account and I start to rank it, and you see absolutely everything that I'm doing. You can ask any questions that you want, and it's going to be all included in the community. Now, right now, there is 50% off. So if you are interested in signing up for the next 7 days, I'm going to keep it at 50% off. Then it's going to continue to go up. If you're serious about making passive income online, you're going to want to join this community, because I'm going to spend my time in this community to grow it and be the best online. If that makes sense for you, feel free to use the first link in the description box below. I'm also adding lots of different blueprints. These are just the two to start off with. They are super comprehensive. So if this makes sense for you, feel free to sign up. I'm also adding my new tactics, my new videos, everything. It's all involved. Anyhow, let's carry on. So usually this will show you the end date here. So all of the monthly trends up until the 11th of or the 14th of November, where we are now, okay? So if I type in, for example, pumpkin carving ideas, it's going to give me the search volume for this keyword. As you can see, it spikes up and spikes down. We don't really need to know that, because unless you're going to specifically rank for that, you're going to have to start doing that in September, and we've missed that slot. So this is what I recommend you do. Pop in the end date of last year, but with a 6-week window. So for example, if we're going to aim for December, we don't really have December keywords that are shown in Pinterest trends, unless you specifically know what keywords are ranking. So for example, you could do this. I recommend it. It's not that advanced, but you just have to understand how it works. You could just go in, type in something like Christmas, for example, because it's the end of year. And then if you put in Christmas, you'll find many DIY and craft related Christmas keywords. This will work well, okay? Grab these keywords, check them out in your competition research, and do some pins. Fantastic. But sometimes, especially in niches that you don't know everything about, it's tricky to know exactly what's going to rank and what's not going to rank. So this is what I'd recommend you do. Go to end date here. Select last year in the time frame that you want. So for example, I would like to rank my pins for January and February of next year, but I don't really know specifically what's going to rank in the crafts niche for January and February next year, let's just say. So I'm going to type in, we'll put in February here, okay? And then now it's going to give me last year's trends, but we're going to project it forward for this year, okay? Well, technically next year, because it's 2026, but you get the point. So we're going to use the last year's data to predict the trends for the current year. So for example, the trends for last year and the trends for this current year are going to usually be exactly the same. So for example, right now it's telling me about Valentine's Day, which is a really, really, really big DIY and crafts search volume area. So we're going to grab all these keywords because they've ranked last year. So chances are 99% of the time they're going to rank for the following year or the current year. So what I'd recommend you do is change the end date to whatever date you are trying to rank for, okay? So let's say we're trying to rank for summer of next year. We'll go to summer, check those keywords, etc. So once you've done that, this is where the magic happens, okay? Copy all these keywords. So we're gonna grab that, press copy, and then do this. So once you've got those keywords, pop over to ChatGPT and paste them in. Now, this was for up until the end of February. I'm also gonna add up until the end of January because I wanna rank for January too. So I'll pop back over to Pinterest Trends. I will change the end date to the end of January because as I mentioned, there's going to be some keywords in January that I'm going to want to rank for too. I'm going to grab all these keywords, go back over to ChatGPT, paste those into the bottom, and then I'm going to give it a command. So I've typed in, give me the best and most suitable keywords that I can use for Pinterest from the list below, make them unique and non-duplicates of each other, and prioritize keywords for Q1 2026, okay? So now it's going to pretty much do as I asked. So it's going to give me the top priority. So first off, it's giving me a Valentine's list. This is again for my DIY and crafts niche. Then it's going to give me a winter crafts list, which is fantastic because I can use that through January. Then it's going to give me a crochet list. Okay, this is like gold dust because now I have in order pretty much everything I need for the next 2 months. So I can start getting these blog posts created and start getting these pin clusters out. It's also clustered them together. So it's got best for beginners. It's got best for Valentine's Day crafts. It's got high growth DIY traffic, for example. And then I can ask it to give me boards specifically for these keywords. I can ask it to prioritize exactly which day, which time, and give me a calendar so I can do the exact blogs and the exact pins at the exact time. It can pretty much do everything. So this is my kind of AI tweak that I use. It works fantastically across any niche. And as I mentioned, you can pretty much put in any input and it will give you the output that you need. So just to go into more detail, because I want to give you guys like the full picture, I've asked it to give me a calendar of exactly which ones and which keywords to go through to first. So it's giving me the first week of January. These are the keywords that I should be going for. So it's talking about beginner friendly and cozy crafts. Next week, it gives me the next set of keywords, crochet patterns, flower patterns, etc. Now we're going to start warming up for Valentine's Day in the middle of January because of course it takes around 4 to 5 weeks for the pins to rank. So now it's going to be Valentine's Day orientated, etc, etc. Okay, so this is super smart. So this is a really useful way to use ChatGPT or any AI tool. Now next, what I'm going to do is I'll put some of these keywords, okay, so the ones that are the most popular, back into Pinterest Trends so I can see what the competition research looks like and also the pins. So back in Trends, let me scroll down and find a crochet related keyword. We're hitting that one. Crochet patterns sounds fine. Again, this will give you the predicted future trend. We've also checked from our previous research that we know that this is going to spike up. So this is good. This is our monthly trend. Let's click into the actual popular pins itself. So we know this is popular. We can tell because we've done the research that it's going to continue to spike up in Q1 of next year, which is the next few months, so January and February. You now have all the blueprints. So to know that once you create this pin, it's going to rank. What I'll do now is, obviously, you can create these pins. You can use Canva. You can use Content Goblin to create these images. There's lots of different pin generators out there at the moment. But also, you can just use simple tools, okay? So let me show you 2 free tools that I use that you can pretty much use your competition's pins and just alter them ever so slightly. Keep the colors, change the keywords, and you have a winning combination. So we'll grab this one here. We'll take this pin off, and we're gonna use it as inspiration to create our own pin. So I've popped over to Gemini. Okay, Gemini is a free AI tool that you can use. I think it has some credits that you can use. Use their Nano Banana Pro tool. Okay, this comes for free again with Gemini and Google. So this is their kind of image generation tool. I've put in the competition pin and I've asked it to remake this pin, but for my keyword, which is going to be crochet patterns for beginners. That was the one that ChatGPT said was smart and trending in Q1. And then I put it in there. It's taken about a minute or so. It's given me a pin that I can very easily use for Pinterest. I know that this pin is trending. I know that this design is fantastic because that came up as the top row in the Pinterest search. I've put my own pin, I put my own keyword in it, so I know it works. Of course, you can probably change the images here. You can add a few different images, but I just want to give you a super quick example. Also, if it makes sense and you are actually in the niche, then for sure use your own images. Again, this is an example that you can use AI images. Pretty much both work, but make sure that you are sensitive with any of the images that you're using. And just to be super clear, I've done the same thing in ChatGPT and it's given me a similar type of image that I can use in Pinterest. Okay, so these are 2 free ways for you to create pins. You can use other generators too, and you can use Canva, for example. So hopefully that's been an insightful video. Again, I have tons of these tips that I'm adding in my community on a day-to-day basis. So feel free to sign up. It's in the first link in the description. That's pretty much it from this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Feel free to add any comments in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.